All right, guys, you know, an important part of buying a boat, I think, is working with a broker. Now, I happen to be here at Smiling Jake's in Rock Hall, and I mean, look at the two of us, guys. I'm with Jack Heffner. He's the owner of Smiling Jake's. It's Island Casual Apparel. We look like we're at the islands, and we're in the mainland. But more importantly, Jack has over 25 years of experience of helping people fulfill the dream of getting out there and sailing. Jack, thanks for talking with us today.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, one of the things I've always said is pick a broker, work with them. What's your thoughts?
That's correct. I think the best thing to do is find one broker that you like and work with him continuously. At that point, he learns what you need a lot better than jumping around with different people. He's also going to put more effort into it because he knows whatever effort he's putting in, at the end is going to realize something for both him and you.
He's going to learn what you want and help you find it. Now, you can help somebody find a boat anywhere.
Correct. Yeah, most brokers are multi-listed, and most good brokers are listed with Yacht World, so that means you can search boats all over the world and sell boats all over the world.
And you know the other people that you're dealing with, so you can kind of tell what the reality is when they're saying a boat is in good condition. You know what good means to them compared to what good means to somebody else.
Right. The broker's oftentimes going to talk more straight up with another broker than they will a customer, because they know they've got to work with you down the road, and maybe vice versa, that they're going to need to get information from you on a boat, and they're going to want the straight skinny on it as well. So we can oftentimes find out better information than an individual can talking to somebody from a distance.
That's a good point. Now, does a broker work like in real estate? You have brokers that work for the seller, brokers that work for the buyer, and then dual agency. How do boat brokers work?
It's basically the same as real estate, in that you know, sometimes you're the listing broker, sometimes you're the selling broker, sometimes you're the listing and the selling broker. And then it can get even more convoluted, that if it's a listing broker selling somebody else's listing, that's through another brokerage house. So it's very similar to in the way that real estate works.
But by working with one broker, you're helping get through all of that malarkey.
Yeah, it makes it a lot simpler for the customer because, like I say, you're not running around necessarily looking at boats that aren't up to what you're looking for, because the broker itself weeds out a lot of that and does a lot of legwork for you.
Okay, now what about as far as financing, insurance? Can you kind of guide them or help buyers with that?
We also have connections with real estate, or not real estate, with insurance companies, and there's different. You go to an agency, not every agency can handle all types of insurance or knows all types. So we've got connections that we know who works best with different like charter companies, and somebody wants to buy a boat and put it in charter, they want to take it offshore, they're going cruising. We know who to take somebody to, rather than just jump into a straight old insurance company that, yeah, they sell insurance but not necessarily handles what you handle.
Well, you know, I never thought of that. If you're going to go cruising, if you're going to go offshore, you know, what you're going to do with the boat makes a difference as to how you're going to insure it.
Right, exactly. And you know, there's different cutoff points for insurance when you go south, and time frames. So, you know, that's all stuff that we know that you may not know, and, you know, the insurance agent may not set you straight on those things. Same way with financing. So you can help save
money with that.
Right, and the same way with financing. There's different finance companies that are better, you know, for different types of boats, different size boats. You know, and depending on your financial situation may be able to help out better one way or another. And that's one thing, that having a central broker that you're dealing with, he can, you know, steer you better in the right direction for these things.
There are a lot of used boats out there. You got to find the right guy to help you find them and cut through all the BS, quite frankly. So let's see here. We got financing, insurance. Oh, surveyor of boats.
Right.
How important is that?
Well, the surveyor is extremely important, and that's one place that we're not going to give you direct information to. We will give you a list of people to choose from that we know are good, reputable people, but we should never pick one. It's a conflict of interest. So we don't want to be on that side of that situation.
But you can recommend several.
We can recommend several.
Then it's up to you guys to pick whichever one you research.
Right, right.
Okay.
And, you know, we gave you a list of names, and you talk to them, and you pick the person that you think suits you the best. But you know, there's people out there that we know are extremely good, and those are the people that we want.
Okay.
You know,
All
if
right.
somebody's buying a boat, we want it to be flawless.
Okay. All right. Now that's good. Now, you know, another point here. A used boat is a used boat, guys. They're going to have some issues. Just because a surveyor finds something doesn't mean you can't buy the boat.
Right. Yeah. There's a difference between big issues and little issues. Like you say, it's a used boat. There's always going to be something, and some of it comes down to somebody's personal opinion as to what they like or don't like. Okay. But when it comes to the safety features and seaworthiness of the boat, that's the stuff that counts.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get into more of that when we interview a couple of the surveyors. Jack, anything else? Any other words of wisdom for potential buyers?
Well, just there's a lot of good boats out there, and right now things have gotten very busy. So a lot of people getting into the boating world.
What's the best time to buy a boat?
It's
tomorrow. What time is it, guys?
Yeah, we still have time today. Now, any time, you know, is the best time for price-wise. Oftentimes for the buyer is in fall. Okay. Because going into the fall, whoever owns the boat knows they don't want it for next year, and you may get a little bit better price on it. Plus, the big thing is you've got the winter to get your head around the boat and start to understand what you have there, and be ready for spring rather than jumping into it come spring.
All right. Good advice, guys. Hey, and look it. We're in the islands on the main shore. Jack, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your input. Thank you.